tangent ratio. The tangent ratio formula is tan A equals opposite divided by adjacent. So op over ADJ. When it tells you to find each of the following to the nearest thousandth, that means you're getting a number with decimals, and there should be 4 numbers in total. So you do the number and then tan it. And if you want to turn that into a triangle, you're gonna write you're gonna write the numbers that aren't 0 divided by 1,000, and then you're gonna draw out your triangle, and on the op side you're gonna write the numbers that aren't 0, and then on the adjacent side you're gonna write 1,000. Example 2, find the nearest degree. So if the thing is telling you to find the nearest degree, that means you're doing the negative version of whatever it is. So you have to write out A equals tan -1 and then bracket your number. So on a calculator, you would do your number and then function tan 1. And if you want to turn that into a triangle, you're going to write out the number you were given, like the part that doesn't have the 0, divided by 1,000. And then when you draw out the triangle, your op side is going to be your number without the 0, and then your adjacent side is going to be 1,000. The only difference in this one is that because you're finding the degree, on the side where the degree is supposed to go, like opposite the right angle, you're going to put an A and then a question mark where the degree is supposed to be written. When you're told to find the value of a letter for each of the following, so if you're given the number for your adjacent side, you're going to label your adjacent and opposite sides. Then under that, you're going to write out your tan A equals op divided by adjacent formula, and then you're going to put your degree into A and the other values into op and ADJ. So you're going to rewrite it so it's ADJ. You're going to rewrite it so it's your ADJ number, tan degree equals letter. Do tan number and then times it by your adjacent number to get your final answer. If you're given the number for your op side and not your adjacent side, you're going to start off by labeling your adjacent and opposite sides. Write out your tan A equals op divided by ADJ formula. Then you're going to put your degree into A and all the other values into op and ADJ. You're going to rewrite it so it's op number, tan, degree equals letter. You're going to make it a fraction. So you're going to bring your letter over to the other side. So now it's going to be, you can write this underneath. Letter, tan, degree divided by tan degree equals op number divided by tan degree. And then you're going to cancel out what's the same on either side and rewrite what you have and then get your final answer from there. So the question for the searchlight, how the searchlight beam lights up a helicopter that is descending vertically at the horizontal distance 1,500 meters from the searchlight. The angle of elevation of the searchlight is 50. How high is the helicopter? So you're going to draw out your diagram. So it's going to be a right angle, as you know, where the H side is a question mark because you don't know that yet, and your adjacent side is 1,500 meters because it says horizontally, which means the bottom. And then you're going to add in your angle, which is 50 degrees, and then you solve using tan from there. And you have to round it to the nearest whole number. B. What would be the angle of elevation of the searchlight beam if the helicopter was 500 meters high? So you're going to draw out your new diagram, but instead of h equals question mark, it's 500 meters on the op side and then 1,500 meters on the adjacent side. We don't know the slope degree, so that's what we're trying to find. So you're going to use tan -1 to find your slope degree. The question: Rocco and Biff are two koalas sitting at the top of two trees, which are 10 meters apart, as shown in Rocco's tree is exactly as half as tall as Biff's tree. From Rocco's point of the angle separating Biff and the base of his tree is 70 degrees. This one's kind of confusing, so you're gonna divide the 70-degree triangle into two, because it says that one tree is 2 times. So it says 70. I wrote 35 degrees on both of my divided, triangles. So you just plug that in, everything you're given. So tan 35 degrees equals x over 10, because we don't have the opposition side, but we have the adjacent side, and then we solve from there. And to get this, because it says that this tree is 2 times Rocco's tree, then we just times the number we get at the end by 2. If you're ever given only if you're only given the adjacent opposite side, and you're not given the degree, you're gonna use tan -1 to find the degree. The review question. A jet climbs at a steady rate at an angle of inclination of 0.5 degrees during takeoff. What will the height be after a 2.2 kilometer initial ascent at this angle? So you're gonna draw, a jet going up for the hypotenuse. So then you're gonna draw your right triangle. So the angle would be 0.5. You know that the base, which is the adjacent side, is 2.2 kilometers, and you don't know the opposite side. So you just plug those in and you get your answer in kilometers. Corey is building a ramp for his school theater production and must climb to a height of 60 centimeters and have a slope of 10 degrees. So when your letter is at the bottom, you have to divide. You have to you have to divide. And if it asks you what will the distance along the surface of the ramp be, you have to do Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Just plug in everything you know. So instead of a and c squared, it's going to be x squared and y squared. And then instead of b squared, it's going to be 60 squared. Then you square your values given, and then you add the values you squared together and put a square root sign over it, and then whatever you get after you square root it is equal to y. What are the following values? So tan 0 is equal to 0. So when angle 0, the opposite side is 0. Tan 45 equals 1. So when angle is 1, opposite side is equal to the adjacent. Tan 90 equals error. So when the angle is undefined, the adjacent side is 0. To avoid damaging a vital organ, a surgeon will fire a laser. So whatever. So I was already given the triangle, so I just wrote, because we don't know what tan is yet. Tan, that angle sign equals our two given values, which is adjacent op. So because we don't know the degree, we have to do tan minus 1, and that gave us our answer for what the surgeon should do. And we shouldn't round it. It should be to our nearest tenth, because we need to be as accurate as possible.